Coming up on EagleVision News, in the spirit of Halloween, we'll tell you about bloodsuckers that are out to get you, but they're not vampires.
And we'll give you a look into Biola's budget cuts and tips on what candy you shouldn't be eating on Halloween.
All this and more on EagleVision News. Welcome to EagleVision News. I'm Clarke Finney.
And I'm Keri Casey. Our top story tonight. The drought has brought more challenges than wildfires, browning grass, and severe water cuts. Now, aggressive mosquitoes carrying infectious diseases are spreading across Southern California. These non-native mosquitoes are thriving in the hot conditions. They carry diseases such as yellow fever and dengue fever, which kill thousands of people around the world each year. They've been found in 12 of California's 58 counties so far. They're called the Asian tiger mosquito and the yellow fever mosquito. No one has gotten sick from these insects yet, and at this point, health officials are actually more worried about the number of West Nile virus cases. These suckers bite during the day, so wear sleeves and bug repellent when you're outside.
And a man is in custody after a reported bomb threat at a local Chase Bank Monday morning. Police were alerted by bank employees around 9:40 a.m. about a man with explosives strapped to his body. Responding officers spotted the man on a sidewalk outside the bank and subdued him by firing a round of beanbag ammunition before taking him into custody. The suspect claimed he was armed with an explosive and had an accomplice as well, but when the bomb squad techs secured the premises, they found neither. There were no immediate reports of injury. And an 8-foot hammerhead shark sighting prompted the closure of Newport Beach waters on Monday. The shark was spotted near the Newport Pier around 11 a.m., and the beach was immediately closed for 1 mile from each direction. Officials stated the shark did not display any aggressive behavior, but the beach closure is a part of regular protocol. The closure was lifted around 4:30 in the afternoon, but a shark advisory warning remained in effect until late Tuesday morning. Lifeguards say this marks the second shark sighting in recent months.
LA County supervisors voted on Tuesday to gradually set aside $100 million a year for affordable housing. Housing for the homeless will be built and maintained using the newly approved funding. While this is good news for nonprofit housing developers, the initiative draws some criticism because of the large price tag. Some of LA's supervisors are concerned about financing the project. This funding is gradually set to increase each year. Next year, the county will put $20 million towards housing and $40 million the year after that, eventually adding up to $100 million. With more than 44,000 homeless people in Los Angeles, poverty alleviation measures are a growing priority for LA officials. And bad news for bacon and hot dog lovers. This week, the World Health Organization concluded eating processed meat is linked to cancer. Red meat is also included in their report, which says consuming processed meat slightly increases the risk of colon cancer. Experts warn people not to be overly worried about eating meat, however, but to moderate their intake, much like eating other unhealthy foods. WHO's report puts processed meat into their Group 1 category, which means the risk is present but minimal. Diets high in processed meat could contribute to about 30,000 deaths a year around the world.
And Walgreens is planning to purchase Rite Aid for $9.4 billion. Walgreens agreed to buy Rite Aid Corp. Tuesday, which will combine two of the nation's largest drugstore chains. The deal follows a wave of other mergers in the pharmaceutical industry in light of the push for affordable healthcare accessibility. Walgreens currently has 8,200 stores throughout the nation, while Rite Aid has 4,600. Neither company has mentioned any future store closures or layoffs as a result of the merge. The change is expected to be completed during the second half of next year. And now we have reporter James O'Hearn with us for a look into international news. James, tell us about the election in Central America.
In this week's world news, we start by heading over to Guatemala, where political outsider and former comedian Jimmy Morales just won a landslide victory last Sunday. Mr. Morales had over 70% of the vote compared with 30% for his rival, taking the largest margin of victory in a presidential vote since democracy was restored in 1985. It seems that the social conservative capitalized on the recent furor against the political system, running on the campaign slogan, "Neither corrupt nor thief," and stating in a TV message that he has been given a mandate to clean up the corruption that has eaten at this country. Though his origins in comedy seem unorthodox, many hope that the energetic fresh face will turn things around. Recent protests at a rally protesting police brutality, gathering under the hashtag RiseUpOctober, have a new supporter in Quentin Tarantino, who showed up last Saturday alongside academic Cornel West. According to an AP report, Tarantino said, "If you believe there's murder going on, then you need to rise up and stand up against it. I'm here to say I'm on the side of the murdered." Despite remarks from the president of the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association about the filmmakers being a purveyor of degeneracy who sells depraved big-screen fantasies, it can safely be assumed that the Christmas release of The Hateful Eight will not suffer too hard a blow. Finally, the world's first real-life Pokemon gym will be opening next month in Osaka, Japan, hopefully making dedicated Pokemasters feel more like an athletic Ash Ketchum than a Snorlax, or whatever those things are called. I never played. The plan is to digitally insert people into Pokemon battles, so that they can exercise by trying to dodge Charizard's flames, Pikachu's lightning, and whatever dangers may be coming their way. Not that I would know about Pokemon dangers, of course. The gym leader states that the goal is to bring together disparate nationalities in a recognizance of a united experience. Definitely a worthy goal, though it seems unlikely that humans are capable of learning sand attacks or ice beams, but I'll leave the definitive answer on that one to Clarke and Keri.
Well, I don't know much about those ice beams and sand attacks, but don't you have to catch them all? Is that the point?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just gotta.
Yeah. Thank you, James. Well, Biola is located right next to Disneyland, but student pass holders are having second thoughts about renewing after the price increase a couple weeks ago. Reporter Angeline Wong gets some student perspectives.
In light of Disneyland's annual pass price increase, students are now faced with the decision of whether or not they should renew their annual passes. Let's see how students are deciding. How do you feel about the Disneyland annual price pass increase?
Well, I think it's a little bit ridiculous. I think they have enough money as it is, and I know it's for crowd control, but it really limits the people who are able to go.
Crazy. I think that it's not worth it, even though I love Disneyland. So it really bothers me because I would want to go.
I think it's definitely necessary. I work at Disneyland, and we've seen a major increase in attendance lately, and I honestly don't mind it at all because I know there'll be less people for us to handle.
I heard they just released a new one that's $1,000. I think it's ridiculous. But at the same time, I understand just because it's Disneyland. Everyone's flying in from all over the world to go. So, I mean, my sister has a pass, so I've been kind of using hers and sneaking it in. So I just don't have much to say about it just because I go anyway, so it doesn't affect me.
Honestly, I think it's a little crazy. They're really, they make so much money to begin with. They really just kind of stick to the person that's coming on vacation, especially the locals. I think they'd make far more money if they just lowered the price and at least for the locals here, and we could just enjoy it.
I'm outraged. It's terrible.
Do you have an annual pass yourself?
Yes, I do.
And do you plan on renewing it after this increase?
Yes, I do. But I'll be poor after this, so I'm making a sacrifice for my Disney pass.
It looks like Disneyland is going to lose some customers after the annual pass price increase. For now, this is Angeline Wong reporting for EagleVision News.
And now reporter Brooke Carlucci is here to give us a political update. So the race for the White House is heating up and primary elections are just a couple months away. What's happening with the Democratic side?
It's official. Current Vice President Joe Biden is out of the presidential race. After months of teasing Americans, Biden says he's out of time to launch a campaign. He said that even though he's not a candidate, he will not be silent. Biden, still having a large following, could now potentially bring a big boost of voters to whoever he decides to endorse. Hillary Clinton email drama continues as she was grilled about her email scandal at a House Select Committee on Benghazi. During questioning, Clinton was asked to account for the lack of emails to and from State Department from 2011 and 2012. Clinton responded, "I did not conduct most of the business I did on behalf of our country on email. I conducted it in meetings. I read massive amounts of memos, a great deal of classified information. I made a lot of secure phone calls. I was in and out of the White House all the time." In the race to the White House, Ben Carson is surging past Trump, according to Quinnipiac University poll of likely Republican participants. Carson, a retired neurosurgeon, leads the Republican field with 28%, while Trump has fallen behind with 20%. Also on the rise is Florida Senator Marco Rubio, who comes in third with 13%. Following Rubio in the most recent survey is Texas Senator Ted Cruz, with 10%.
Thanks so much for the update on politics, Brooke. And it's no secret that Biola missed their enrollment goals for the 2015-2016 school year. And in order to see what our university is doing to boost enrollment, I sat down with the Associate Vice President of Admissions to find out more.
I think it's been a little bit of a wake-up call it's a lot of a wake-up call. It's like an alarm clock ringing in our ears in terms of when you miss the budget by that many students, it has a big impact.
In 2010, Biola Institutional Research released statistics showing that 59% of the university students fell in the white race category. Fast forward 5 years later, and Biola still remains a white majority school, with the new Caucasian demographic being at 55.5%.
So there's a lot of people working with trying to increase not only the diversity on campus, but actually to make Biola a place that the climate for diversity or students of color can come and be successful and feel welcome here.
According to statistics on Forbes' top-ranking university's website, 78% of students enrolled at Biola are receiving some form of financial aid.
We just met actually earlier this month to meet with we have a consultant that works with our financial aid model, and he helped walk us through some of the things we need to do for scholarships and need-based aid as well. Okay. So I think the gap is going to close for students in terms of affordability. It's in a good way. And we were competing with Azusa and other schools as well in terms of when it came down to finances. Some students and families were saying, well, I'm getting $20,000 more at Azusa than I am at Biola, and that's too big of a gap for us to choose Biola.
Although Biola has advertised their campus on billboards over the past few years, other universities have taken to the airways.
Grand Canyon University, the quality of a private Christian education, the affordability of a state university. Visit gcu.edu.
On Biola's application, there's a note to students before they apply that states the importance of each applicant possessing a Christian commitment and character that matches the university.
Biola, in some ways, is like, all the faculty are Christian, all the staff are Christians. You have to be a Christian to attend. There's not too many Christian colleges that have that requirement. And not only that, you get to take 10 Bible classes or 30 units. Well, I do think that some students and parents are seeing that and saying, like, is that really what I want? Especially if I can go to XYZ Christian college and I don't have to take as much Bible. You mentioned Grand Canyon, so prime example, right? They're for-profit. You don't have to be a Christian to go there. You don't have to be a Christian to teach there or work there. I don't know if they have chapel requirements. I don't think so. So if we were to look at Biola and Grand Canyon and say, well, what school is, more Christian or whatever, well, people would just say, just an objective of all these other things would say, well, Biola probably hits that.
The appeal, though?
But families and students are saying, well, Grand Canyon is good enough.
For the sake of time, we only aired a portion of the interview, but if you want to see the full-length clip, visit our YouTube channel. And in the midst of current budget cuts, construction for the new science building is still underway. Reporter Jasmine Rose gives us an inside look.
Biola will be transforming its campus after the construction of the new science building starting in February 2016. The new science center is expected to take up over 90,000 square footage, which is triple the amount of space the current building has now.
I think it's pretty cool because the building we have right now is pretty old and all the labs we have are pretty outdated, so it's going to be cool, and hopefully we'll get more people from science for the sciences.
The white and art building are scheduled for demolition to make room for the future science center.
I think it's great. Those buildings are old and they kind of take up a lot of space that could be used more efficiently.
Overtory conference classrooms were emptied out and desks were transferred into the modules. Just this past week, classrooms that were previously held in White Hall have been moved to portable rooms, just like this one. The portable rooms also obtain the necessary features that make up a college classroom.
The modulars are going to stay there for a period of possibly 5 years. It's going to be a series of different kind of domino effect of people moving. So we're going to need that for temporary place for people to go from project to project.
For EagleVision News, this is Jasmine Rose.
Biola students have some mixed feelings about Halloween, or Hallows Eve, or Reformation Day, as some students call it. Reporter Jocelyn Curtin takes us around campus and gets the lowdown on how people celebrate the holiday.
With Halloween right around the corner, we decided to take it to the streets to see how Biola students feel about the holiday and see what kind of special plans they have for Halloween. How do you feel about Halloween?
I'm gonna go to my youth group.
I love Halloween. It's really fun. I like horror movies, so it's like the best time of year for that. Sorry.
Candy. I think it's okay if it's done in the right way. I think society has taken it really far and kind of become really desensitized to like evil.
I think Halloween is pretty fun. I think it can be taken too far with like all the spooky stuff.
I don't know completely how I feel. I think against what it stands for.
I don't know. It was a good day when I was a kid, but I don't really celebrate it anymore.
How do you feel about Halloween?
No. How do you feel about Halloween?
Personally, I don't really have an opinion towards Halloween. I used to trick or treat all the time, but I don't really know anymore. All right, how do you feel about Halloween?
Pretty good. I don't have plans yet. Can I have your number? Maybe we can go out sometime.
How do you feel about Halloween?
How do I feel? I mean, I don't really like Halloween.
So you're not doing anything for Halloween?
No. I'm just staying home, just hanging out, maybe watching a movie.
Well, there you have it, folks. Looks like Biola students won't be trick-or-treating this year. This has been Jocelyn Curtin reporting for EagleVision News.
So take a look at this picture. It looks pretty innocent at first.
Yeah, it does.
But what you don't know is that that isn't candy, it's actual drugs. And people actually created this for children to sneak into their bags because it looks so much like candy and it's so unassuming.
This is a really sick prank. I mean, in terms of getting a trick or a treat, this is totally a trick.
Yeah, it's really scary.
Well,
like,
really scary.
there have been a lot of news stories that have been covering it, and definitely make sure that you're careful this Halloween when you're going out trick-or-treating, and make sure you know what's going into your bag. If it has a weird WB symbol or like a Superman symbol, just make sure that it's wrapped in a container or packaged and not just thrown into your kid's pillowcase.
That's really scary. But here at the studio, we're having a very happy Halloween so far as we prepare for the big holiday. I don't know what you are, Clarke.
I'm a cat.
I'm Leslie Nope.
Do you dig the ears? Oh, that's perfect for
Thank you. You're fierce.
Oh my gosh, I know who I'm voting for during the 2016 elections.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I do too. So we're hoping that the weather for Halloween weekend is actually going to be pleasant. Jasmine, are we going to get a trick or treat when we trick or treat?
Yes, Clarke and Keri, I definitely love those costumes. And if you look behind me, there's a Donald behind me, but it's not Donald Duck, it's Donald Trump. And I definitely think that he will be impressed by the way they got his hair on the mask. Now let's take a look at the highs and lows of today. Yeah, this morning it was pretty chilly with a high of 65 degrees, and the clouds did cover the sun, but we did have warm temperatures with a high of 82 degrees in the afternoon, and the sun did set around 6 o'clock this evening with temperatures dipping down to 64 degrees. Let's take a look at our nationwide map. Yeah, over in the northern part of the country, temperatures are low because they are experiencing a fall. So temperatures like 52 degrees in Minneapolis and 49 in Denver and 43 in Billings are just cooler temperatures. And if you see right here, it's just a prediction of a storm coming. In the Midwest, they are going to be experiencing powerful gusts of wind. Moving on towards the eastern part of the country, the states over here are going to be experiencing some major thunderstorms. Now let's take a look at our 7-day forecast for us. Yeah, on Wednesday, it's going to be just like today, just with hot temperatures at 80 degrees with clouds covering the skies. And then the 80-degree weather will carry on till Friday. And then for Halloween, temperatures will pick up to 89 degrees and then dip down in the evening at 59 degrees. So definitely bring a jacket over those costumes. Thankfully, everything will cool down on Sunday to kick off our week on Monday and Tuesday with temperatures in the low 70s. That's all for your weather forecast, and don't forget to pull your clocks back an hour for daylight savings on Saturday night or Sunday morning. Back to you, Keri and Clarke.
That's all we have for you this week, but next week on EagleVision, we take a look at homelessness in Los Angeles.
Then we get an update on the grand opening of the local UFC gym.
And gas prices around La Mirada are decreasing even more than they already have. We show you just how low it's going.
Keep up with us during the week. Like us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Have a safe
and spooky Halloween.
We'll see you next time.
No one's gonna save you from the beast of